First comedian. There we go. Slow build to bring this first guy up, but we love the energy. Ladies and gentlemen, first guy coming all the way from goddamn Covington, Louisiana. Please welcome Mr. Josh Watts.
It's going to be the hardest night of my life to not turn around and look at that board all night. I've done comedy for 15 years, and I've done it sober 9 times, and it's all been this month. Yeah, this was the month I decided I should stop marijuana. It was a terrible decision. I don't advise it to anybody. Do you know they have marijuana you can eat now? You can just put it in like candy, like gummies. I call them adult melatonins. They're delicious. I can't eat them as much as I used to, or as much as I would like to, because I am a father. I'm a stay-at-home father. Not on the board? Wow. That's all I ever talk about. I'm a hero. I'm a martyr. My wife lives a life, and I just stay at home. But I'm in charge of lives. And when you eat a lot of adult melatonins, if they have the desired effect, your dad edge is dulled. One time, I ate an edible one time, and my daughter, she was 8 months old, and I went to take her outside, and she was sitting on my arm, and I had my titties out because I'm an adult, and that's how I like to party. And we were walking outside onto the step, and she's just trusting me because she's 8 months old and doesn't know any better. I'm her father. That's what she's supposed to think. And I look up in the sky, and I see a giant hornet. And he's coming straight for my nipple. I know it in my heart. This is not going to be nipple to shirt contact. This is going to be stinger to areola. That's the worst kind. Look it up. It's on Wikipedia. And because I had an adult melatonin, all of my natural muscular instincts to protect my child went right out the window. Do you know what I did to protect the only thing I've ever admitted to loving when I thought a hornet might sting my titty? Like a frisbee, I just tossed her to safety? Nope. To wet ground. Do you know what the worst sound on earth is? It's an 8-month-old baby's face hitting wet concrete from about 4 feet in the air. I'm lying. The worst sound is actually the silence that follows that because it feels like forever. She's fine. She's going to DeVry and drink tickets I won doing open mics all over this beautiful state of ours. So I don't get to eat adult melatonins as often as I would like to. I'm so used to doing Christian shows that I can't go back to saying weed. I had a priest at a show in Mississippi ask me not to say marijuana or weed, and now he's just exorcised the word from my body. I can't say it without my skin burning. So I was eating a marijuana, take that, Jesus. I don't get to eat them as much now, but one day, because I live in St. Tammany Parish, children are legally required to be at school so many hours a day. I don't know how many, I didn't check, enough. As soon as I dropped them off, I popped a couple of those gummies in my mouth. Popped my titties out, turned on Law and Order, it's about to be a dad day. And then, immediately, an Amber Alert goes off. No, I'm just kidding, it wasn't an Amber Alert, it was a weather alert. There's a bad storm coming. I live in Covington, my wife works in Baton Rouge. She texts me and says, you have to go get the kids. Melatonin just kicked in. I take my phone out, and I see the text, and I nod at my phone. I didn't type anything, just nodded at it. I drove 15 miles under the speed limit the entire way. In the school zone, I didn't even move, actually. They just kept bringing me kids until they got the right ones. Nope, that's not mine. Mine's got glasses. No, that is her. Don't tell her I didn't know. Put her in the car. I got them home safely in 2 whole pieces. I've told this joke a little while, and I used to say I got them home safe in 1 piece. And then a lady in the crowd goes, but there's 2 of them. And I was like, well, shit, I didn't know you were going to do math. All right. Fact-checked in real time. I hated it. So I got them home safe in 2 whole pieces. And I texted my wife because I know she hasn't taken a breath in 3 hours. So that's how long it takes you to get to the school if you're going that slow. And I said, kids are home, smiley face, and then I did this emoji. I've never done this emoji before. I don't know why. Why would I do it? Probably the same reason I'm 44 with a mohawk. I'm holding on to youth. I don't know. And then I turned my phone on vibrate, And I set it on the desk because I'm going to connect with the children now. We're going to bond. We're going to pretend we did our homework. We're going to act like we didn't watch South Park. We're going to pretend we brushed our teeth, and we're going to go to bed. It's going to be a good night. About 2.5 hours later, the child melatonins, actual melatonins kicked in, and they fell asleep. And I went to go get my phone. And it was no longer on the table I had left it on. It has now somehow walked itself across the room. They don't do that. Apples don't do that. So I was a little alarmed. It's a 13. They don't do this. We're way behind. I went and picked my phone up, and I had missed 46 phone calls and 83 text messages because that adult melatonin kicked in and dulled my dad edge. When I texted kids are home, smiley face, this, the phone autocorrected to kids are gone, smiley face, this. And then 3 hours of radio silence. I was the least popular person in my house for at least 2 weeks. My son learned the word kidnapping to yell at me. He walked in the room with his mom behind him and goes, "You know he could have been kidnapped!" Because I have children, I've been trying to lose weight. And I got on a little secret weight loss tip called testosterone. It's magic. But the other fitness tip I had that they don't tell you, social media doesn't want you to know this, the Zuck doesn't want you to hear it, but 10,000 steps are 10,000 steps even if you're high. They still count. So I've been walking around my neighborhood listening to yacht rock, and every time I turn a corner on my street, I do some push-ups and some squats. Now, being an adult man that minds my own goddamn business, I didn't think anybody was paying attention to me. And then I got home and my wife had sent me a screenshot from our neighborhood Facebook group. Hey neighbors, new to the hood. Get it? So you know they're cool. They said hood instead of neighborhood. Can someone explain the mohawked guy without a shirt on doing push-ups in my yard? I don't believe that's a cigarette he's smoking either. Not trying to start trouble, just curious. Thanks in advance. I told my wife, how do you know they're talking about me? There was only one comment underneath the message, and it said, harmless. And I found that more offensive than the original. Harmless? I got tattoos. What is it, harmless? My shirt doesn't even have sleeves right now. A few years ago, I was asked to be in a talent show called Baton Rouge's Got Talent. You might have heard of it. It's just like America's Got Talent, but nobody's seen it. Comedians never win these things. It's always some asshole doing magic or a country singer. I got dramatic, huh? It's always some magician. But I decided to do it because they lock the doors and everybody that's in there can't leave, so they're going to have to hear my jokes. They told me, they guaranteed me they will lock them. And this will shock you, not an abundance of talent in Baton Rouge, and I made it to the finals. Right? It came down to me and a country singer named Garrett. Bad start already. I'd been telling him all night that I was going to bully him. I said, hey, I'm going to bully you. I'm going to bully you so hard. Turns out I'm new to bullying. If you tell somebody you're going to bully them, they don't wait around for it. They separated us, and they put him in one green room and me in the other. And the MC comes out, and he's going to introduce Garrett first. And this is the introduction he gives Garrett. Ladies and gentlemen, your first finalist for the evening is not only a great country singer, he's also a local hero and firefighter who donates his time to the Children's Hospital. Give it up for your favorite performer and mine, Garrett! What the fuck? What? And then Garrett came out in a sleeveless American flag shirt and the tightest pants I've ever seen in my life. I don't care if you sew a patch on them. Wrangler doesn't make jeggings. I don't believe it. But as soon as he started singing the Toby Keith song about kicking a dog over 9/11, everybody's mom in the crowd had an orgasm immediately. It was disgusting. They had to mop the floors. I hated it. And the MC came to me and he said, all right, are you ready? And I said, yeah, I'm ready. How about you intro me like you did Garrett? And he said, what do you want? Now, I have an ace up my sleeve that I don't use a lot. I'm a disabled veteran. I've only used it once. I got a license plate on my car, and I can do whatever I want, and it just erases everything like Grand Theft Auto. I got pulled over once, and the cop lit my blunt. Thank you for your service, that's right. So I told the MC, I said, look, you really fucked me out there. I need you to set me up like you did Garrett. Tell them that I'm a disabled veteran. This is the South. Captain America is going to win over the Paw Patrol fire dog. I'll win on patriotism alone. And he said, a what? And I said, a disabled veteran. I'm handicapped. You tell him that I'm handicapped. And he gave me a thumbs up. And I'm so dumb in Livingston Parish that I just gave him a thumbs up too. I knew our thumbs up didn't mean the same thing. And he's getting ready to introduce me. He walks down the stage, he points at me and he says, are you ready? And I said, I am. And then he gave me another thumbs up. And I knew for a fact our thumbs up meant different things. I'm standing off the side of the stage and he walks out and says, ladies and gentlemen, this next performer is your final finalist for the evening. And he wanted me to tell you all that he is retarded. Please give it up for Josh Watts! And then, like that magic moment at the end of The Grinch when the Who's let Christmas into their heart, the entire Shaw Center held hands and stood up and applauded me because they thought it was a Make-A-Wish. I didn't win that night, but I learned a valuable lesson. You never judge a book by its cover. I made fun of Garrett that night and for years on stage afterwards. And it turns out he actually was a hero because Garrett, when he saw how upset I was about not getting the trophy, he gave it to me because he left his truck unlocked in the parking lot. Who's retarded now, Garrett? Thank you very much.
Hey, y'all keep it going for our first comic of the night, Mr. Josh Watts, everybody. Holy shit.
For the record, we wrote it. We didn't say it.
Yeah, no, just wrote it because we hoped he would say it. Isn't it weird to hope somebody's going to say something fucked up? Like, man, I really hope he says the R word. Also, man, first out that we got all five.
We did it all.
Gate.
And look at this killer drawing you did of Josh.
I don't know if you guys noticed, I did a little court sketch room work of Josh. This is Josh with his titties out smoking a joint that a cop lit after he was listening to the song that Toby Keith sings about kicking a dog over 9/11. Did I hear that correctly? That blew me away. Holy shit.
You
One more time for Josh.
Let Josh hear it, everybody.
Jesus.
Holy shit. You set a precedent. Now you got to draw a picture of everybody.
Okay, all right.
I'm challenging you now.
You have to do it backwards. All
yeah,
right,
and it's going to get way worse as you drink more.
All right. Also, just a reminder for the rest of the comics coming up, use that half of the stage so that everybody can see the list and we can play along and drink. You guys ready for your second comic? Yes?
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here, I'm going to consider this a credit. His new